Have you ever wondered how many valuable era comics are out there in the world? Let's find out together. Welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. Daddy is back. What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles. I want to thank you guys out there for joining me for another video here on the channel. Today we're checking out valuable era comics. That's right. If you're a subscriber of the Key Collector app, they have a small section which is dedicated to era comics, and we're going to go through some of them here today, especially the ones that are more expensive. But before we get started in the video, like always, I remind you guys, if you're not a current sub of the channel, do yourself a favor, hit that sub button because you guys are missing out if you're not subbed. I'll tell you that right now. Smash the like button because you're really helping me out because of the algorithm. And of course, if you're not following me on Twitter and Instagram, click the links below. With that said, let's check out some of these awesome era variants. We're going to start off looking at one of the more common ones, at least that I've seen. It is a copy of Fantastic Four number 110 and this first cover appearance of Agatha Harkness. Now, right now, you can tell right off the bat something is odd about this book. It is a color era where the orange is replaced with green and the blue is replaced with purple. As of January 2024, there are 220 total copies of the era edition on the census versus 309 of the standard edition, which makes them appear closer in scarcity than they actually are. Now, there are high-grade copies that show the real disparity. In 9.8, there are a total of 8 standard versus 0 error. In 9.6, there are 33 standard versus 7 error. And in a 9.4, there are 54 standard versus 7 errors for a total of 95 high-grade copies versus 14 of the error. Now, right now, Key Collector lists at a low grade, it's around $60. Mid-grade, around $290, but check out the high grade at a whopping $775. I've seen this book at live sales, even at one of my LCSs, so definitely one we've all seen before. Up next, let's talk about a book we all know and love. It is a copy of SpiderMan No. 1, the silver cover variant. And right now, there's a color error that affects several panels where the lizard's green skin appears copper. But not only that, there's another issue where the lizard's green skin appears blue. So there's 2 different color errors for this book. There's one data point that became available in August of an ungraded copy that sold for $15,000. The seller claimed that there only 6 were known to exist, yet posted another for sale in October 2020 with the same description and images, but for $10,000 less than the August sale. That seems like a scam to me. I don't know. The Key Collector app is listing sales for this book in low grade at $180, while at mid grade for $600. But in high grade, this is going to cost you around $1,800. So I'm not sure where they got $10,000 to $15,000. But either way, I think it's too much money to spend on probability that this book is an error. So check this book out. This one must be super scarce. It is a copy of Captain America number 212, the error variant. Now take note, this is a 35-cent edition of this book, okay? But the error version of this book has a blank yellow stripe at the top edge, missing the Marvel Comics Group text. I have never seen this error variant before. Guys, do me a favor, drop me down in the comments if you've seen it. But either way, Key Collector is saying in low grade, this book is worth around $250. In mid grade, $800, and in high grade, guys, check out that price, almost $2,500. Again, I got to start checking the back issue bins, but it was also very hard to recognize. Just looking at the cover of this book, I would have never noticed that the Marvel Comics Group text wasn't even there. Let's check out another error variant where something is missing from the front cover. Here we have a copy of Marvel Spotlight number 1. With the error edition, the issue number is missing from the front cover. That's right, there's no number 1 on this cover. Now, it is a pretty cheap comic. In low grade, only selling for $5. In mid grade for $15, but in high grade, going for around $50. Again, another book I would normally not be looking for, but now that I know it's an error, I'm going to be searching the back issue bins looking for Captain Marvel. I know we have to have some Walking Dead fans watching this video, so here you have The Walking Dead number 1, but the error variant. That's right, the variant cover with mature readers printed in black. The initial first printing of The Walking Dead had to be stopped to correct the color so that mature readers was visible. The printer estimates 10% of the run is printed with mature readers in black like it was supposed to be. So right now the Key Collector app is saying in low grade this book was worth around $165, while in mid grade $410. But in high grade, that's where the money is. $1,300 for this book with mature readers printed in black. Man, this makes me wish I was a Walking Dead fan. Let's talk about a modern book next. It is a copy of Bloodshot Zero, which is printed by Valiant in 1994. The error variant is actually a platinum error variant because the manufacturing error intended to be printed with the gold ink but came out platinum. Makes me think, wow, I know I've owned a copy of Bloodshot Zero before. Was it the error variant? I had no idea about this book. The Key Collector app saying in low grade this book is worth around $150, in mid grade $550, and in high grade almost $1,600. Man, I wish I knew about this earlier because I think I sold all my modern books a while back to my LCS. Up next, let's talk about a comic that I did know about had an error variant. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 194, one of my favorite Bronze Age keys, of course, printed by Marvel in 1979. Now, the scarce printing error identified by the yellow discoloration to the right of the CCA stamp in the Marvel Comics group banner at the top of the book. You guys can see it. I was lucky enough, this was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers a few years back, and that's when I actually found out about this book. It is rumored that once the printer noticed that the error was there, it was quickly corrected early in the print run. So right now, the Key Collector app is saying that in low grade, this book is worth around $120, which seems to be right in line with other Amazing Spider-Man number 194s. In mid grade, around $400, that's a little bit higher, and in high grade, $1,200. So right now, I think for a 9.8, the regular edition is going for around just under $3,000. I'd really love to see this book in a 9.8 and what it's really going for. Now, it's funny we're going to talk about this book right here because I just saw somebody on Instagram post a copy of this book, and it is wild. Here we have a copy of Spawn number 1, of course, printed by Image in 1992. We all know that there are a million copies out there of the original cover. However, the error edition was manufactured with the uneven black ink on the cover. There's also missing blank ink in various places, so check this book out. It's even better when you see this book in person because the person that I do know who owns it actually has a green label copy graded by CGC in a 9.8. It is absolutely beautiful, and I actually think it may possibly be the only 9.8 out there. Regardless, the Key Collector app is saying in low grade, this book is worth $340. In mid grade, $965, and in high grade, $3,400. But like I told you before, I've seen a 9.8 copy of this book, and the owner was asking $15,000. Well worth it for a book that I have never seen before. Let's talk some more Spidey. Here we have a copy of Spider-Man Adventures number 1, printed by Marvel in 1994. The error edition is missing the red foil, but it's not clear from the image if it is embossed or not. I'm assuming if there's foil on it, it should be embossed, but I have yet to see one of these in person. Either way, the Key Collector app right now is saying that in low grade, this book is worth around $40. In mid grade, worth about $120, but in high grade, almost at $450. I've yet to even seen this book in person, let alone an error edition. So if anyone else has seen this book out there, please drop me comments down below. It is super cool. How about we talk about a Dell book on this channel? We never do that. It is a copy of Air Pirate Funnies number 2. Now, the variant portion of this book is because there are printing errors, which is missing colors. The original cover of this book is known to be orange, so keep that in mind. I'm going to throw up a picture so you guys can see what the original copy should look like. Either way, in low grade, this book, this error variant is worth around $25 according to the Key Collector app. In mid grade, around $100, and in high grade, all the way up at $225. Again, I don't talk too much about Dells, know nothing about this cover. Do know, of course, there's Mickey and Minnie Mouse on it, but either way, if you see a printing error like this, I think this one is pretty noticeable. You might want to snatch it up. Now, I know we've all seen this book before. It is a copy of Avengers number 360, which was printed by Marvel in 1993. However, the original non-error edition has the copper foil treatment to it. Now, this book is super scarce, and it is the error edition. Now, the data reflects only one sale over the past year. Now, it looks to me like it's silver without that copper foil treatment, which makes the book look a lot better, in my opinion. I never really liked that copper foil cover that came with this book. Either way, right now, the key collector app is saying in low grade that this book is worth around $100. In mid grade, almost $300, and in high grade, we're talking a cool $1,000. So again, if you've seen this book before, I've never even seen this copy without the copper foil. What about you guys? If you have, do me a favor, drop me comments down below because I'd love to hear where you saw it. How about we talk about a Golden Age book? And not only that, one of the biggest Golden Age books there are. And we're talking about a printing error with a major key like this. Of course, it is a copy of Batman number 1, printed by DC Comics in 1940. The first appearance of the Joker and the first appearance of the Cat, who later goes on to become Catwoman. But not only that, it is Batman's first issue in his own title, of course, Batman number 1. There is a scarce printing variant of this book, which is identified by the absence of a period before the issue number 1. I myself have never seen a variant copy. You guys do know I own a copy of Batman 1, but mine has that period before the number 1. In low grade, of course, this book is worth a ton, $62,000. In mid grade, $185,000, and in high grade, almost $1.3 million. My goodness. Hey, if you own a Batman number 1, whether it's got that period or not, you're doing something right. Now let's talk about an error cover that probably most of us know about. It is a copy of Venom Lethal Protector number 1. This book was printed by Marvel in 1993. Now the regular edition is like a maroon foil cover. Most of us have seen that. There are a million copies out there. But this one is a black variant error cover. Now I have seen this book before. Actually, I remember Torpedo Comics had a copy of this book at one point for sale. I think a few collectors out there who I follow on Instagram also have a copy. It is scarce. There are less than 2,000 copies known to exist right now out there. So if you own this book or you want to own this book, it is super freaking expensive. Right now in low grade, this book is worth $155. In mid grade, $525. And in high grade, we're talking about $1,800. Not a book you want to flip your nose at. Now, I know we've all seen that black Venom variant cover, but how about this one? Have you seen this? It is also a copy of Venom Lethal Protector number 1, published by Marvel in 1993. But this cover, the error edition, but it's in white. I have never seen this come up ever. And I can't imagine there are too many copies out there of this one. Right now, in all grades, low, mid, and high, the Key Collector app is saying they're all worth around $5,000. That doesn't make much sense to me. In low grade, I would think it's worth a lot less. And in high grade, I think we're worth a lot more. Either way, I think most of these Venom Lethal Protectors are in high grade because of the materials they were made from, at least the cover. Regardless, I have to hear from you guys out there in the community. Who owns one of these, and have you ever seen it before? You guys know I love talking Spidey, but how about this one? It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 388, printed by Marvel in 1994. Now check out this book, guys. There is an error where the blue foil is missing from the embossed cover during the printing process. It seems like there's a lot of issues with foil covers, it seems. I don't know. Either way, in 2020, there was a 9.8 graded copy of this book that sold for $4,000. But let's check out what the Key Collector app has to say on this one. In low grade, $85. In mid grade, almost $260, and in high grade, a cool $850. But in 9.8, man, these books are super scarce and they're selling for a crazy amount of money. And the last error variant we're going to take a look at today is this copy of Superman number 74, another Golden Age book printed by DC in 1952. The error, of course, was that this book was incorrectly numbered number 74 when it's actually issue number 75. There is a reissued version with the correct numbering of issue number 75. Who knew back in the Golden Age there were so many mistakes that were made? Either way, right now the Key Collector says that this book is worth around $125 in low grade, in mid grade around $400, and in high grade almost $1,800. So how about that? And all the valuable era comics that are out there, right? A lot of them came from the 90s with those foil covers that weren't printed correctly. Even few from the golden age, which really surprised me. Not too many from the silver age, which also surprised me. Either way, if you guys don't have the Key Collector app, it is useful for certain things like this. You can see all the valuable comic errors that are out there. Some of them are only worth about $20, $25, even in super high grade, but some of them are really interesting to see, which I wanted to share you here today. So like always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up for me. It really appreciate it. With that said, check out these two videos and I will talk to you guys soon.